Hey guys, just making an update video of the 1983 Toyota pickup, four-wheel drive. It's pretty much, well, not pretty much, it's on the road. Not completely done, still got to paint and do some fancy stuff, make it all pretty. But just to do a quick overview of what I did. As you remember, if you watched the old video, the frame was completely rotted and useless to me because it was a two-wheel drive frame that somebody half-assed converted to a four-wheel drive. So, you know, I said, you know, let's get rid of that. And I ordered a frame on eBay, you know, for the correct year, 83 Toyota pickup, four-wheel drive, rust-free from North Carolina. Had it shipped here to Maine. And you know, wire wheeled it all down, painted everything, came out nice, and I took everything off the old frame, which wasn't too hard because, well, it was, but it wasn't too hard, you know, considering that they had half the bolts out and everything was loose anyways. The truck was pretty much going to fall apart if it went a mile down the road. But anyways, did that. That's all pretty. Rebuilt the front axle. I used the Marlin crawler kit. Used trail safe knuckleball seals with rock rings, and the knuckleball was pitted pretty badly, so I took you know, sandpaper, roughed up the ball. I took some JB weld and filled all the pits, sanded it down again. Then I prepped everything and coated it with a coat of POR-15. And it's been, you know, a year now, and they haven't worn through. And that POR-15 is really tough, and that rubber seal hasn't seemed to affect it much. Put the backing plates, I cut them down just enough so I could keep the hanger for the front brake line there. And so that just, you know, keeps rocks and dirt from being in there. I put oversized brakes, the Trail Gear oversized brakes. It uses the IFS caliper. Let's see, I put Trail Gear high steer in it, so I had to get the IFS steering box mount from Trail Gear, welded that on, put the plates on there, and got my high steer in with the steering stabilizer kit, also from Trail Gear. Well then, before I was rudely interrupted by dying batteries, I have the Trail Gear high steer, Trail Gear U-bolt flip kit. I have the front axle truss for the Trail Gear truss, just on the top. This is a 1985 solid axle. It has that lower truss going all the way, you know, on the long side of the shaft, the long side of the housing. So, you know, you have a truss going all the way along the bottom, which is more heavy duty than the 83, which has a truss going about to the U-bolt there. But so I used that one, and I rebuilt that because it's, you know, more heavy duty, might as well, because I had two of them. And now, what else did I do to this? Oh, I made these steering stops heavy duty. If you look at Wheelie Pete, I don't know if you ever heard of that guy. He's a pretty cool guy. He has all kinds of mods and stuff you can do, relatively, you know, basically free if you have the scrap steel laying around. But basically you take a couple of nuts that measure 15/16, I believe it is, or maybe not. I can't remember what the nut size is on the outside of that hex. But you get the one that fits right in there. You get two of them, tack them in there on top of each other, and then you plate the end of it with steel. And on both sides, so that steering stop won't collapse on me. Let's see. I've got just what the hell? Who makes them? Not Rough Country, Skyjacker shocks in the front and rear. They were cheap. That's why I went with them. They're not the best shock, I know, but you know, at the time, I wanted to just get this thing on the road, and they've been performing all right. I like them. No complaints. They got Rough Country springs, I believe the guy said. The same lift that a guy had in it. And then he said there was a 5-inch lift, and I think it is. But I got a 5-inch suspension lift and then a 2-inch body. But let's see, anything else I'm missing up here? Mickey Thompson Baja MTZs. Those are a real nice tire, nice and quiet on the road. I extended the brake lines with the brake hose. Instead of getting the braided steel hose, I just took a couple of factory hoses and linked them together. The front hose and the rear hose will attach together. You know, the rear hose has a female and a male, and you can just. So the brake lines, like I said, extended. Sorry, I got cut off again. The shackles I got are aftermarket. They're supposedly 2-inch shackles. Not sure if they are or not. They seem to be maybe an inch larger than the stock. But I don't know, I didn't have the stock. Everything was all mixed up on this damn thing, so it was a pain in the butt. But, so, let's work our way back. Again, like I said, the frame's all brand new. I did an exhaust on it, got a cap in there, and a brush, just a welded muffler. Sounds okay. Not the best, but no big deal. And let's see. Rear end. I got the rear shock relocate bar by Dave's Off-Road. That's nice too. Basically, it puts that bar right in the middle of your frame there. It puts the shock right above the axle, and they're angled in like they are here. You know, that comes with the 2 tabs, so you can weld them on top of your axle down here. And that basically utilizes, you know, that allows you to use the U-bolt flip kit and still have your shock mounts. And it also supposedly makes your truck more stable and ride better. But because the shock is angled in the correct spot, it just performs better as that axle pivots up, apparently. So what else do I got? I extended the rear brake line the same way as I did the fronts, the brake hose I should say. Put new rear wheel bearings in this, new brakes, new everything. Axles pretty much rebuilt, except for the third member. I did not rebuild that, but I did have to put a third member geared in 430s in, because when I first got it on the road, the front was in 410s. The front was in 430s and the rear was in 410s, so it didn't like four-wheel drive all that much, and I didn't either. So pulled that out and ordered a whole third member in 430s because I didn't want to spend the money to re-gear both axles. Later on down the road, when I have a shop and I can really do a good job, I'd like to do that and gear probably in 488s. But for now, 430s work great. Let's see, got those same style shackles in the rear. Oh boy, there's so much going on here that I can't, it's hard to remember it all. Oh, U-bolt flip kit, oh, I already said that. New brake lines, new fuel lines, fuel tank I, cleaned up, painted, made a new sending unit, or not sending unit, just the sending unit's junk, but the, where the lines come into the tank, that pickup tubes and the return lines, had to make a new one of them because the other one's rotted, and from OEM is like $200 bucks, and I was like, I'll make that, I'll try that out. So did that, it came out pretty good. The bed, let's go with bodywork now. Bodywork, the bed, if you remember, was rotted from the body line down. So what I did was I removed those sections and cut out all the nasty rotted crap and formed my new pieces. And I got a metal brake from Harbor Freight, just a real cheap one, 30 bucks. And I actually made these bends to make the body line. Had to do a little bit of modification to it, but same thing over here. Body line, made that. I had to patch a lot of this. Had to patch the bottom of the door on this side, the rockers on both sides, and yeah, I had to cut the wheel well because this was a two-wheel drive bed originally, and then when I ordered my fender flares, their OEM flares, they wouldn't fit that wheel well, so I had to cut the wheel well and you know, make it the correct shape, because the two-wheel drive wheel well will be smaller, which is kind of, it was a surprise to me, but everything else about the bed's same. So I was like, oh cool, that's all I gotta do. So I, you know, mocked everything up and then trimmed it and bent everything over all pretty. And I made these panels so that they were bolt on, so if it ever does rust again, I can unbolt them and clean it up again and just do everything separately. I didn't want to weld them on because I wanted to get in between this seam where these two panels meet together. I wanted to get in between there with POR 15, so that's why I did not weld them on. And I did the Herculiner up past the body line because most of my body work was just, you know, above the body line and down, so I didn't want to have to fill everything in with Bondo because it's my trail rig, and that Herculiner really does hide all the welds and all the imperfections, so that's pretty nice there. And the front fenders, same thing. The bumper, same thing, Herculiner, but it is coming off here. I did this a year ago, so, and it was all outside, so it was it's a pain in the butt to get everything prepped right when you're rushing to beat the rain or get out of the sun. So let's see, now these are 33s, by the way, 33 by 12 and a half, 15-inch wheel, 15 by 8s, and I got a worn locking hub on both sides. I rebuilt those as well. What else we got? Interior, I welded in those rot holes in the floor pan here, just patched it in with metal. I didn't get new floor pans because I don't believe they sell them, but I patched that side there. The Herculiner's coming off there where my heel rides from the gas pedal, but again, it's hard to prep stuff when you're in a rush. Patched that side too, came out pretty good. There's a patch underneath this bench seat. Originally this was not a bench seat truck, it had a center console, but I prefer the bench seat, and my center console was kind of beat up, so I was like, let's go with the bench seat. So that's that. Put a sound system in it. This thing will focus. It's a Pioneer system, pretty much the same system that I have in my 93. I put these, made these door panels. I got to cover this side still, and put that speaker in the door there. It all works, everything sounds pretty good. But the thing I did not like, the reason why I haven't covered that side, is because this adhesive, it's a 3M Super 77. It did not hold like it was, you know, supposed to. So it's kind of bubbling up, which I didn't care for. So I got contact cement. I'm going to do the other side with it, and that should hold forever. But if it, that's why I've been putting that other side off, because I'm kind of mad about how this side didn't hold. So that kind of lost my steam there. But oh man, all right, so I got this SunPro gauge set up. Tells me the temperature, the volts, and the oil pressure. The voltmeter is kind of broken, which kind of sucks, so I'm gonna see if they can replace that for me. What else do I got in here? Still got the rubber ducky. I don't know if you remember the rubber ducky. That was our mascot for this whole build project. Get factory sunroof, factory slider. Let's pop the hood and see the big power horse of a motor. Got the 20R 2.2 liter. I think they're putting out like 70 horsepower. Pretty sweet. But it runs pretty good. I got a Weber carburetor, the 3236. The electronic choke. It's pretty nice. Everything runs real nice. Runs real quiet. Got some sort of header on there. I'm not sure what kind. I didn't put it on it. Came with it, but that seems to add power. It doesn't struggle to turn these tires. Actually goes pretty good. Motor runs real quiet. No knocks or noises. I did get a manual proportioning valve because my automatic one that you bolt to the frame back there was junk. And basically just went over this whole truck to make it roadworthy. And it's fun. I like it. But anyways, if you have any questions or want to see more updates of this, if I didn't cover anything